for that warm welcome. I was hoping my voice would last. I've been talking non-stop since 9:30, it seems, and enjoying every minute of it, by the way. And thank you for sharing so many interesting stories and so many very thoughtful questions and expressions of interest and support. So I hope some of this is new. It's kind of, I guess, like a wedding, borrowed, and something borrowed, something new, and something whatever. But some of you may recognize some of this. There's nothing really wrong with repetition. As an educator, I have to recognize that that's an important element of learning and mastering a subject matter. But I hope I can bring some interesting perspective to some new developments that have taken place. You really can't say enough about the Patterson-Gimlin film. It really is that piece of evidence that just keeps giving. It just goes and goes, and the Energizer Bunny. And so even at 50 plus years, we continue to learn more and gain insights into the significance of that film and better appreciate the context, the scientific context. And I was stressing that the other last night and the night previous. Sometimes my previous speaking engagements kind of run together, and I forget where it was that I said this, but I had the opportunity on this trip, as we've done previously, to make a pit stop in Boring, Oregon, and at Cliff Barrettman's museum, wonderful little museum, a growing museum, and do a very intimate conversation with some of the members of the museum and some of the public there. And I was emphasizing there, it's really important to understand and appreciate the context of this subject. Yes, it has its sort of intrinsic interest and mystique, and given the nature of the topic, but to really appreciate and understand it from an intellectual perspective and to value it for that, you have to recognize it doesn't just drop out of the ether. It's not anomalous. That's why I kind of push back when it gets lumped in with the paranormal, because it's anything but paranormal. It is absolutely normal, and it fits into our current understanding of paleontological history of the primates and hominin evolution and adaptations associated with that, of ecological correlations. One of the talks, in fact, I actually vacillated just a little bit after the tenor of the conversation of the panel discussion yesterday. There were some really great questions about the sort of the ecology and the behavioral ecology. What we can infer, what insights do we glean from the various anecdotes and eyewitness reports about the adaptations of Sasquatch. And I have a talk prepared where we venture out, inferring. I don't like to say speculating because it's all, again, it's contextual. It's within the framework, drawing analogy with other great apes and other mammals in temperate habitats, and talking about the behaviors and so forth. When you look at that Patterson-Gimlin film, as I said, she looks like she's in the right place. She clearly was adapted to the environment that we see her in. So it's something to keep going back to. And recently had very powerful motivation to do that. I met some years ago at one of Derek Randall's Olympic project retreats, a young man named Isaac Tian, and was very impressed by his skill set and his educational path and that he was pursuing, and his interest in open-mindedness and rational approach to the subject of Sasquatch. Ian is pursuing his degree in computer vision, which I don't fully understand and comprehend the full scope of what that is, but in this instance it involves manipulating or managing large data sets of visual files, image files, in ways that make them more informative. And so, some of you, how many of you saw the Proof is Out There episode aired on December 3rd
Okay, a few of you have, so I'm glad to see that some of you haven't yet, because this will be new and interesting to you and not too repetitive, and for those who have seen it, hopefully this will, again, re-emphasize some of the points that we made. As is often the case, I'm approached by producers, and they want to know what's the newest, what's the latest development, what are some interesting things that they can incorporate into what is otherwise an evergreen topic. They fully recognize that you all simply can't get enough information about this. And as it happened, I had been having these conversations with Isaac, and actually he had visited my office, and we had a chance to catch up and talk about things and discuss his interests and potential collaborations. As it turned out, I had on the shelf behind me, I'd recently gotten from Bill Munns a hard drive that had a backup of all of his digital files, because I've had the good fortune of attracting the interest of some benefactors who have financed some research projects, and one of those projects involved Bill Munns and some of the work he was pursuing on the Patterson-Gimlin film. One of the things that Bill has done, to his credit, is chase down quite a number of copies of the film, and has created something of a genealogy of the copy history, generation upon generation, of various iterations of the original film, which most of you, I'm sure, know has been apparently lost. We no longer have it or access to it.